So what about when we're hitting, say, like fourth grade, and how has that better late than early approach worked for us? What are we doing with our kiddos as they do start to grow? Are we holding on to traditional curriculum, or maybe kind of doing things a little different? Well, I'm going to share exactly what I'm doing with our daughter. She's 10 years old in fourth grade, and this is what homeschool is looking like for her this month. With Heavenly Minded Home, and welcome back to our channel. We have videos that come out each and every day, yes, literally every single day, and we're talking a lot about our back to homeschool as we are in like our 12th year, I think, of homeschooling, and super excited to get going this year. I love talking about all of the homey things, so from homemaking to homeschooling, home discipleship to homesteading, all with an eternal perspective to the glory of God. And so I'm so glad you guys are here to hang out with us each day as we get to share about the things that we're doing. Not that you have to do it like how we do it, but we kind of do things a little bit different than most of the things that I see out there. And that's why we've been on YouTube for the past 5.5 years, to be able to say, hey, there are different ways to do things. It doesn't have to look like that. Maybe you like something a little more simple, a little more direct. You want to be biblically based. You want to give your children opportunities to pursue the things they're interested in. We share a lot of things like that. I will put some additional links down in the descriptions of just things we have to offer here with our ministry, things that we use, and other videos that are kind of related to this that might be something that can be an encouragement and a help to you. So you guys check out all of that stuff when the video's over, so that way you can get all of that. But otherwise, today we're really going to dig in and talk about what we are doing with our fourth grader. Our son did graduate over the summer, and so now it is just the 3 girls that we are focusing on with this school year. So Virginia is 10 years old. She would be in 4th grade, and this is kind of what homeschool is looking like for her. I shared with you guys yesterday what we're doing for Olivia, our youngest. She would be in kindergarten. She's 5.5, so you guys can go right here if you'd like to check out that video. But with this kind of less than traditional approach to a homeschool, this is what it looks like for her. We did apply those better late than early principles like I shared in yesterday's video, and that was such a blessing to her. It really made a huge difference, and now we're really reaping the rewards of that, which is great. I'm going to share with you guys in the different topics the only things that we require for our kiddos to put a focus and an emphasis on would be, first and foremost, Bible, reading, writing, and arithmetic. Those are the areas that I want my kids doing at least something in each and every day throughout whatever it is that the Lord's put before us. And then everything outside of that, we really do leave open-ended to the child's own interest. And it's amazing the rich and diverse education that they can have when they're pursuing the things that they are most interested in. So let's go ahead and talk about exactly what Miss Virginia is doing this year. So like I said, our number one priority is Bible, is teaching our children not just to believe what we believe or to think what we think, but to be able to dig in and know for themselves what truth is. I want to train up children that walk in the ways of the Lord. That is our number one goal with our children and with our homeschool. You guys can learn more about our homeschool philosophy right up here. But in order to do that, they have to know what His Word says, because if they don't know what it says, how can they walk in the Lord's will and design for their life? And so we have a couple different things that we are using for Virginia to really help her grow in that biblical discipleship. Discipleship starts at home. So whether you homeschool or not, this is absolutely your priority as a parent. And we really believe in this. And we also believe that there's a lot of things out there that might be great and wonderful, but I always struggled with finding something that wasn't overly complicated or just really milky and basic, kind of like Sunday school stories, and that was it. I want my kids to dig in. I want my kids to be biblically sound, theologically literate, and spiritually mature. And so what are things that we can do to support that? Well, for our family, the answer was this Heavenly Minded Homeschool Family Bible Curriculum. I wanted something where we would cover scripture from Genesis to Revelation. I wanted to do it slowly so that we were really looking at each passage and really spending time on it and thinking about it, reflecting on it. Any of us who have been reading the Bible for any amount of time, you realize that no matter how many times I've read through the Bible cover to cover, I always notice something different every time. And I love that. It's because it's God's living word. And so I want our kids to have time to really think about stuff as they're going through it, for us to be able to discuss it as a family. And then we make these really fun trivias and things to go along with it. So with the Family Bible curriculum that you guys can get these little booklets off of Amazon, we have printables that you can get off of our website, digital copies, whatever. What I love is we go through Genesis to Revelation, passage by passage, right? Verse by verse, chapter by chapter, the whole thing. We go through it, we discuss it, and then we have trivia questions. We also do some Bible memory, we do some Psalm studies, and then like a special area of focus every month. Months 1 and 2 are available. Again, if it can be a blessing to you and your family, that's what it's there to be. And we have gotten to team up with some amazing people that I'm so excited are helping me get these finished, so that way we can get the rest of the year out to you all. So we are going back over month 1 again this month. We did it last year. Things got a little derailed. We got backed up on our publishing dates, but we're getting back on track now. So we're going back through this. I do this with Virginia and all of our kiddos, all ages. We use this one book from our youngest, who's 5, to our oldest, who's 18, going on 19 here in a little bit. So we all sit down, we go through this together. We study, we read, we discuss, we go through the questions. And she does a phenomenal job. She actually read our whole passage for us this morning. And then we went through and did our trivia and stuff. It was a great time. I love sitting down and doing this. And I also love that it's simple. It's all put together in one easy thing that we can pull it all up, go through, and we know that we are getting a thorough study. The other thing that she's doing that I'm so excited, this is something that we hope can be a supplement to any families, regardless of if you're doing the Family Bible curriculum or something else. Something that we're offering is in our co-op. We have the Heavenly Minded Homeschool Academy, and we offer different co-op classes over there for our big kiddos. So here around this age, we are doing these weekly Bible study classes. My husband pastors a church, and he is going to be leading these classes. You guys can learn all about it at our website down below for the co-op. There's still time to register this week, so we have registration open this week. There will be classes every month, so if you miss this week, it's okay. Sign up for our newsletter down below so you get the updates when the next classes open up. But they're going to get together each week in an online class format, and they're going to have different topics, foundations of the faith, that they are going to work through with a teacher, right, with a shepherd, and with their peers. And so they're going to get on there and they're going to look at these different foundational questions, and then they're going to open up their Bibles, start digging in and looking biblically at where do we find the answer? How do we reconcile this? How do we see this? How do we know this? And I'm so excited for them to get to have these classes. We did one before and it was such a blessing. The kids absolutely loved it, and these are going to be great. This is what our 4th grader, Virginia, is doing for her Bible, and so far she is loving it. The second thing that we really focus on here would be reading. If our kids can read, they can learn pretty much anything. And so we did subscribe to that better late than early approach when it came to her reading. We really did let her come about it at her own pace. And I will say that she was one of our oldest readers so far. But once she picked it up so quickly. We have different classes in the co-op to help kids learn to read, to help be a support to parents who are trying to teach that. I think sometimes teaching reading can be something that's really, really intimidating. And then what do you do if you have a kiddo that is struggling and they're not reading really well? It gets a little stressful. And so we have some amazing classes between phonemic awareness, fluency practice, and then they move up into the intermediate readers. And so our daughter went through all of those steps. She did all of those classes. Some we even did a couple times to really make sure that she had it down and she was feeling confident about her skills as a reader. And now she's doing phenomenal. She is now in our intermediate readers class. So those are our kiddos that they're just moving up into chapter books. Maybe they're not super strong in it, but they're moving up into that. And so this month in it, they're reading this book, Strawberry Girl. I'm really excited because one of my longest friends is going to be teaching this class, and she is the perfect teacher for this class. Her kids read the best literature. She loves reading books and really digging in. why was it like this in this time? Why do the characters do this? How do we see this all come together? What can we learn from this? Comparing it to what we see in scripture and what our lives as Christians look like. And so I'm really excited for these classes she's teaching in the co-op. She's doing the intermediate readers this month with this book. And so far, Virginia is loving these classes. Miss Alexis makes it so fun. There's some great kids in there. They get together each week. They have classes Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. They have reading that they do. So her and I will sit down and read together. So we get a little snuggle time. Sometimes even the youngest will come and join in and listen to the story. But we get time to read and to talk about the book. She gets into class. They read and talk about and do things over there. And really just seeing her become a strong and confident reader has been wonderful. Our next area of focus would be writing. And I'm telling you, you guys, this is why we set up the Heavenly Minded Homeschool Academy and why we have the co-op classes, because co-op is where I go for writing as well. My mom is an amazing teacher and she's been teaching for so long. She's who co-founded the co-op with me, and she does these creative writing classes. We do not do grammar curriculum. We do not do any of those things. And my children have become phenomenal writers. I'm serious. We don't do grammar lessons. We've done them in the past and they always were a headache because we'd get going, I'd find something that worked for a while, and then my kids would get frustrated and they thought it was dumb and they didn't want to do it, and they were like, why do I have to keep doing these things? We don't do them. And I've got one kid who's publishing books, another kid who's writing phenomenal books, Virginia now, who is really growing up in this intermediate writers workshop classes that we do, and her stories are great as well. So you don't have to do all the grammar curriculum, and your kids can still be great writers, I promise you. You just gotta trust the process. And that's what we're doing here. We do in our co-op, we do like 2 months on and then 1 month of just like fun clubs. And so 1 month is reading focused, 1 month is writing focused. So this month, Virginia is focusing on the reading side of stuff. Good readers can become good writers. And so next month she will take the class for the intermediate writers, and she'll start writing some stories, working on some of these creative processes and working with a teacher and her peers to refine her writing skills. They even put together their first collection, or their collection of first stories this past year with their creative writing that they did. We got them published, so all of the families have their books and everything. It was so super exciting, and I thought her story was just fantastic. She worked so hard on it. But even better than like having the book and it being done was that she enjoyed the process. When we didn't make it this like stressful, overwhelming thing with all of these worksheets and all of the stuff she had to do, and instead it was just have fun, enjoy communicating your thoughts through paper. She had a blast and she did a great job. And so for us, that's what writing's all about. Now we give her things like games to play that involve writing. She wants to play Minecraft. She wants to have signs and do stuff. She's got to work on her spelling. She's got to, figure out how to get what she wants to on there. And we help her with that by helping her sound out words and put stuff together. The more she does it, the better she gets. We do have Facebook Messenger that she has with her family, so we can send one another messages and she can practice typing things. All of my kids have learned so well from having a digital source to type into, because of self-correcting and all of the different things that are on there, having your words pop up when you misspell them and having to go back and find the right one. We have honestly found that to be far more successful than any grammar curriculum we have ever done in all of our years of homeschooling. So kind of just having good literature around, having opportunities that we write notes to each other. We'll do like a little journal that each evening we'll leave each other notes in it, so she's getting to practice that way, doing these creative writing classes, playing different games that require you being able to put your thoughts onto some sort of, media there, has really been such a blessing to build up these writing skills in her in a way that she really enjoys, and therefore it's far more fruitful. The last area here that we focus on for our fourth grader would be arithmetic. And guys, not many people do it the way we do it, and I understand that. Or maybe they're doing it, but they're just not sharing about it publicly. Who knows? For us, the focus when it comes to math is that I want my children to have strong number sense. I want them to understand how numbers work, how things connect. But more importantly than just checking off, pre-algebra, algebra, kind of going through all of the things, I want them to know how to have good number sense when it comes to to life and just the situations that we run into. And so we have really struggled. We have tried so many math curriculums, and if you guys go back and you watch our old vlogs, we found some that we loved, we were so excited about, we dove into, and we enjoyed them for a season, yes, but every single time we kind of get to the same point where we start running into stuff that the kids go, why do I need this? Like, am I ever going to use this? And the answer is usually probably not. No, you're not going to. You can still know how to do it. There's nothing wrong with that, but you're right. You're probably never going to use that in life. And so instead of just pushing through all of these curriculums and have kids dragging their feet and things like that, again, if you have a curriculum that works for you, that's fantastic. Keep doing that. But if you're like us and you keep running into these issues, we've instead really just started leaning in on letting life's happenings lead the area of arithmetic. So I involve my kids in as much as we can. We play a lot of games, be it video games or board games. They are involved with grocery shopping. They are involved with baking and cooking. They are involved with projects around the house. I encourage them to be creative, to explore, and to problem solve themselves. And so we really have found that the basis of our arithmetic curriculum really is just life. It's whatever is happening around us and just involving them in it. And they really do a great job. They are good with money. They are good with time. They are good with being able to pull their math together as they're playing a game or involved in some sort of situation. Because when I've let them kind of lead the way there, the math they learn and they know, they kind of have an invested interest in it because they want to play the game, or they want to make sure they don't spend all their birthday money, or they want to go bake cookies, or whatever it may be. They kind of have a reason to know this math, to know how fractions work, or how weight works, or how currency works. They have a reason for wanting to know it, and therefore the learning process is really enjoyable. It's not just a bunch of book work, it's not just a bunch of things. Like, they have a reason for learning it, and therefore they learn it easier and they remember it longer. And I really love this approach. It's been working out really well for us, especially in this area of arithmetic. So friends, that is exactly what we are doing here, at least for this first month back to homeschool in August, with our 4th grader, Miss Virginia, and she is really enjoying it. I shared with you guys exactly what we're focusing on this month. It's a little different. I haven't seen anybody else on YouTube focusing on the same thing. So if you want to know exactly what we're focusing on, and let me know if you want to learn more about it, you guys can watch this video right up here. Otherwise, be back here tomorrow. I'm going to share with you exactly what we're doing for our 7th grader. I'll see you all then. Bye, friends.